Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for everyone on LinkedIn around the globe. Welcome to Unleash with Ahmed Khalid, episode number 7. But before we start this episode, I would like to ask you, as usual, where are you from and if you can hear me or not? I know that there is a lag of 20 seconds, but I assume that you can listen to me right now. Okay, guys, I can listen to you and I can hear. Okay, so today's topic, I feel that it's very common between us. So, who from us has never faced adversity in life? Whether it was um, immediate rejection from your dream job or dream company, maybe it's a promotion maybe it's a promotion at work that we didn't get. It could be also financial adversity, psychological adversity. It could be also emotional adversity. But the question that we need to ask ourselves, how to respond to this adversity? Does it take us to a closed corner? Are we quickly raising the white flag on ourselves, denying everything around us? Most people wait things to change for them. And then adversity comes and goes, and another one comes and goes. Hence, we used to live in this denying cycle every day. But the real question that we need to ask ourselves, do we follow the right path to manifest our dream and turn this adversity into success story? This is what will be unleashed today with our hero. Let me introduce this hero today. She is career coach and interview expert. Her passion is people development. She helps job seekers find their career happiness and fulfillment. Her positive energy is very contagious. Besides, she's very futuristic. She is Kim Araman. Wait for us this Friday where we will unleash how to get out from any adversity. Welcome, Kim, to the show. Nice to have you today. How are
Hi,
you? How's everything?
good. How are you? It's such a pleasure being on your show finally after so long.
Nice to have you. Thank you, Kim. First of all, I would like to thank you for giving your valuable time today for amazing audience today. And before we start our topic, I would like, if you don't mind, if you can give us like some introduction about your amazing journey today.
Sure. So I'll be try to be as brief as I can. So my name is Kim. I'm Lebanese. I live in Dubai. I'm an interview coach. I'm an interview expert, sorry, and a career coach. I'm the founder of Nail Your Interview. I started my career coaching journey almost 2 years back. It's been a wonderful journey.
Wow.
And I do that because my passion, as you mentioned, Ahmad, is really to help people get fulfillment from their job, stop feeling stuck in their day-to-day corporate world, in terms of, this is what I know, this is what we know. If this is not for you and you feel like you're not happy, this is what I enjoy doing, is to bring back the excitement and the happiness in your career life and to show you that it is possible for you to get that.
Amazing, Kim. I'm so curious also to let our audience know about you because I know that you're marketeer. So how did you find your passion before we going into the adversity? How did you find your passion? Because not most people that they have this courage to move from I would say, from their profession into their passion. So how did you find this?
100%. I think that's a great question. And what people don't actually realize is, well, I've been in the professional world for almost 10 years now, a bit more, but let's say rounding it up around 10 years. And it took me 8 years to figure out what it is that I wanted to do. And I was trying to find it, because you need to try and find it. It's not going to, magically fall on your lap and then say, hello, I wake up today. This is it. It doesn't work like this. You have to really try to first know yourself really well. And that's something that is not easy, because you have to ask yourself the uncomfortable question. You have to see what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, to feel the struggle and the challenge, to understand who you truly are, what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy doing. And the funny thing is, what got me into career coaching in the first place is that I was still in university back then, and I was applying for my master's degree outside in Paris. I was still in Lebanon, and I went. It was my first interview ever, because I hadn't done any interviews, and it was very challenging because I had three people. So it was a panel, and I wasn't expecting that. So three people in front of you, and they actually performed a stress test, which means whatever I was saying, they weren't showing the excitement. So they show you that you're actually not doing well. So I went out of the interview and I'm like, for sure, I didn't get it. I need to start and look for plan B, because this is not working. And I ended up getting it. And I went into masters and everything, and I realized when I was doing my internship at the beginning that I fell in love with interview coaching. I fell in love with interviews, and I was really like excited about going to interviews and seeing what are the kind of questions they're going to ask me, other than these stupid, where do you see yourself in 5 years time, which I hope they don't ask today. But still at the time, I'm like, are they going to ask me something I'm not expecting or not? And this is where actually my passion, came to life. But it's not until 8 years, like 2 years ago, 8 years after, that I did something about it. Because when you have something and you have a skill, and I know we have people on the call that feel that, so I want to talk about that. Sometimes we have a skill, and it's because it's our unique skill, and it's something that we know how to do with our eyes closed. It's something that we don't know that we have. So it's something I knew I had as a unique skill, but I was like, what am I going to do with that skill? There's nothing I can do with that skill. Career coaching didn't exist at the time or anything like that. But it's only 2 years back where I realized this is really what I enjoy doing. And I started thinking, how can I use that skill and make it really like something that I enjoy and something I can do every day? And I'm saying that because I know people on the call might be feeling like, I don't know what my passion is and I don't know what I enjoy doing. But it's important to take a step back. Don't think about the monetary value. Even if you're a painter, a writer, whatever it is that you think, this is not going to give me money, don't think about the money. It's not about the money. It's about what you enjoy doing, and then it will come.
It is very courageous, Kim, because also it required some sort of self-awareness and some sort of taking risks. Because I would say this is could be categorized as an entrepreneurial mindset. Because once you discover the things that you love and the passion that you have in life, and start to manifest and start to discover, search, and explore, you will find it. Because as you said, that most people that they can listen to us right now, if you have the passion, if you have it, don't be afraid to manifest, and don't be afraid to ask the right questions, because life, you will live it only one time. Coming back to the lovely questions, because I know that we have too much engagement today. So before jumping into the first questions, I will ask our audience today, make use also of our hero today, Kim. Anything related to adversity, any question that you have it into your career, please ask it, and we'll jump quickly into your questions after asking here the first question from my point of view. So the question that I will jump into, Kim, did you ever face any adverse situation in your life or your career? And please let me know, how did you handle it?
That's a great question. I would say yes, not just one time, many times. When you feel like you're on a high and it's like I'm at the top of my career as my age and where I can be, every time I got to that stage, there is something that pushed me down, because I needed to learn something from it. Life is making me learn something from it. So every time, even at the very start of my experience, I had my first experience in advertising. It was my first job. I was only there for a year and 3 months. And then my manager gave me a PIP plan, which for people who don't know means like a performance improvement plan. So you're on, on probation effectively, where they say like you're a poor performer. And I knew that it was something that was more personal in terms of things, because if not, it would have happened before. So imagine having that after starting your career and thinking like, I'm there. It's like it hits you because you don't have the self-confidence and the self-awareness that you have right now.
Exactly.
And this is a great question, because I said, I had two choices. Either I was going to say, and of course, the first thing is that you're gonna get angry, and it's human, because you're gonna think, why is this happening to me, and I don't understand it, and what have I done wrong, and everything is gonna come. But then you're gonna realize you have two scenario options, right? Either you will stay in that scenario, and it will keep getting negative and negative. It will start affecting you. It will start affecting your performance, and you're not going to get anything
Yeah.
out of it, because you might get fired at the worst case. You lose your job. You won't have the motivation to find another role. Or I decided, you know what? I know my worth, not in an arrogant way, in a self-confident way. And I said, I'm not going to let that define who I am. And I went to look for another job. And with the other job, I got a promotion straight away.
Wow.
And it showed me that
Mm.
if you put your mindset into thinking that you know who you are, you know what you have to offer, there is nothing that will bring you down. Nothing. And this was my moment of clarity, where I thought, because I had also a few moments after in my career that happened, but this was my moment where I said, if something ever happens in my career life, which is normal because it will happen, it might happen even now, I will never let anything external out of me impact my self-confidence. Nothing. And that's
Wow.
what helped me take over the situation itself.
Oh, what a great experience, because I believe that most people that they listen to us, they have this experience in their life, whether it's career, whether it's business. But as you said, when you faced this kind of adversity in your life, we are tending to take a closed corner and we are being negative. And we think that there is no exit at this point, because our emotions is controlling us. We are not controlling our emotions. So asking ourselves the right questions and discovering, exploring, searching, developing our personal philosophies, because I believe that sometimes we have a poor philosophies, and to have this to enrich yourself and to go into the right philosophies, you have to ask yourself the right questions, that most people that they prefer to stay and wait for things around them to change, rather than just going and change it by themselves. So taking the right actions and listening to your inner voice and asking why it happens, getting this information is the right, and you should position yourself where the information is. Like I'm saying, reading the right books, going for seminars, taking courses, have mentorship. This the things that will develop you and getting out of the adversity. Thank you for your lovely experience. So we have too many engagement today. We have many people today. So guys, again, for the sake of time, if you allow me, please ask the questions. I will jump quickly into the first question. Rather than that, I will move into the next question. Okay, so feel free, ask your questions, make use of Kim today. Okay, okay, Kim. Uh, the second question. So, from your point of view, did adversity can lead into any change in life?
Yes, because I always say that to my clients when I work with them. It's easy for us, not easy, but it's nice to feel like we have successful moments. And it's something that we know we look up to, right? We always want more successful moments. No one says, I want more failures, right? It's normal. We all want to be more successful and to get more learnings in life and everything. And that's something that when we get, we celebrate. But also when we face, like when we have failures, we sometimes forget to understand what's the importance and what's the lesson behind the failures that we're trying to get. Because I can tell you from my experience, having that PIP plan, being let go of my job after that job, after getting a promotion again in terms of things, all of these different things that happened again in my life, especially right now, like starting a business, these are adverse moments because it's something where you're taking a risk, and it's something where life is throwing a curveball at you that you're not expecting because you're in your comfort zone, and it's trying to see how are you going to react. And it's only in challenging moments where you see what kind of person are you. Are you a person that's going to be, you know, taking the adverse situation in your hands and then trying to change the situation? Or are you the type of person who will let it sink in? And as you said before, like being the victim mode, which I know all of us on the call are not, because we wouldn't be on this call today. It's something I used to do before. I know it's something you also used to do before, Ahmed, because we spoke about that. It's normal, where we used to think, you know what, I'm not getting a job because there is COVID, or I'm not getting a promotion because my boss doesn't like me, or because I don't know what. And that's normal, because that's the way we're programmed to think. But
Yeah,
then this will never help us move forward. It's only when we realize I have a part of responsibility in whatever is happening to me. When I realize that, then I am able to take control of what I can change. When I can take control of what I can change, I can start learning, and, you know, learning from adverse situations and reactions, and moving forward with everything in terms of things.
exactly. I love what you say because adversity, I believe that it happens because of something. We have to learn something because most people they think that it's negative and it should pass. Yes, it will pass, but the game and the lesson you have to learn something new. Seriously, because people they just live in this denying mood. It comes, it will come again. It comes, even it will come again, and we live in the same cycle. So you have to learn something. You have to learn something from this adversity. So coming back to the first question, I believe that we have Ahmad Qasim here. He's asking the first question: do you consider adversity good or bad? It's a lovely question.
I would say definitely good, in a sense that you can't be in a growth mode if you're not in an adverse situation. If you're always getting successes and you're always getting everything you want, you're not challenging yourself. You're always staying in your comfort zone. You're not putting yourself outside, out there, to see how much can you grow. You're only going always going to stay in your bubble. It's only when you feel like you pass by situations that are adverse or that are tricky and that are challenging, then you start feeling like you're growing because you're learning from it. And the beauty of that, more importantly, is when you look back to it, then you realize how strong you are as a person and what are really your unique skills as a person. It will help you, it will boost you even more, so that next time you face an adverse situation, it gives you the confidence that you can go through it no matter what in terms of things. I hope that helped, Ahmad.
Thank you, Kim. The second question is coming from Nidal. He's saying, how do you, Kim, help your clients change their mindset about their careers and job interviews? I think it's very common question. It's very good question.
I think that's a great question indeed. And I always tell my clients, I don't do one-offs. Like, I don't do like CV writing or, you know, only one thing, because I cannot help you like this. If you want a CV writing, I can recommend people, but I can't help you all the way. It's just giving you one thing. What I do with my client is a program. And the first thing we start with is mindset, because I can give you all of the tools, everything. But if you have only actions and not mindset, nothing is going to come out of it. It doesn't work. Where you start with your mindset is more about understanding. So it's not just talking about mindset in general, because that you can read in the books. A coach is not there to do that. What I'm there to do is to really talk you through what are your limiting beliefs. What is making you struggle, because you might not be aware of it. So we dig deep into that together to understand what are your limiting beliefs. What is stopping you from achieving that thing? Is it the fact that you feel like I'm not good enough? And it's not just about understanding that. It's about really understanding what is this, where is this feeling coming from? It's coming most probably from your childhood. Why is it happening? Because it's only once we fix that issue that we can move forward with the rest. And you know that it's not going to come back to you, and it's not going to come back and impact you when you're going to be on the interview or any other thing after in your career.
Thank you, Kim, for this lovely story and these amazing insights. So, the question that I will ask you, so were there any positives from your adverse situations, whether it's past in your past or in your present, you have faced? Do you have any situations, if you can give us, just
Yes.
to inspire people, because I know that you faced a lot of things. So
100%. I would say it's probably where I was at some point. I was within FMCG. I'm not going to name FMCG just for the purpose
Sure.
of being ethical in terms of things. But I was with a big Fortune 500 FMCG, in my career. And then I was with them for a year and 3 months. I don't know why
Mm,
it's every time a year and 3 months. It's funny, but that's how life is in terms of things. And
mm,
then my role was cut. So there was a restructure. And in this company, there was a restructure every 6 months. And then it happened that, my role was cut. And that's the first time I had moved from advertising to client side in terms of program. So again, remember when I was feeling when I was a junior person, I had just started. This is the second, boom in terms of my face. It's like, are you really sure that you should be doing marketing, or maybe you should go back to advertising, which I didn't want
mm,
to go. But this is the adverse moment that happened because I was in a situation where, similar to you, Ahmed, in Saudi. So where when we live in the Gulf, you cannot be without a job
yeah.
for a long time,
Sure. Yeah.
because if you're without a job, then you have to either go back
You
home or
you, you couldn't.
100%. And what was happening in my mind is the worry is like, I don't want to go back to advertising. That's my worry in terms of things. It's like, if I don't find a job, then I have to go back to advertising. And I didn't want to do that. So what happened is that role really like helped me understand, am I going to stand up for myself and believe that I already am a marketeer, or am I
Mm,
still making that shift in terms of identity behavior? Am I still considering myself like I'm an advertising person trying to shift, or am I already a marketeer and I'm ready to move on? And I decided, of course, to already take the identity as I was and as I am now in terms of marketeer today as well, and move on to my next challenge, which then I was able to find an even better role, and I went with Unilever in terms of company and prospects and everything. So definitely in terms of adverse situation, there is always good that comes to it. Maybe you will not see it at the moment. I definitely wasn't seeing it at the moment, but
mm,
you will realize looking back,
yeah.
there is always a lesson that you need to learn there.
Exactly. You have. I'm sure that adversity happens, as I said before, for something. You have to learn it, and if you don't learn the lesson, it will come back to you. So I'm so glad that you have learned this, because from adversity, there are too many successful stories. Thank you, Kim, for your lovely story. So coming back to the next question, I believe Mahmoud Rida, our friend, he's saying, thanks, Ahmed. Kim, thank you for the amazing content you share. Question: I have seen massive change in my mindset when I change the word issue to challenge, manage to partner. But I find it difficult to convince people around me to see the beauty of it.
100%. That's a great point, Mahmoud, and I'm happy to see that there is already a transformational, process that happens in your mindset, because you can see how words are so powerful. The words we use, and I say that to my clients as well, the words we use are so important. It's as simple as one word versus the other, like you said, like issue versus challenge is something that will get you to completely think about it differently. That's so important. And I mean, again, as we said before, there is something where you can control your own thoughts, but you cannot control the people around you. You can try to influence the people around you, which I think is great, but you cannot enforce these things around other people, because as much as it's a very difficult job. They need to be able to want it for themselves, to be able to make the change. You cannot make the change for them. So I think it's great that, don't let this impact you in terms of, if people are negative, and I hope they're not around you, try to choose wisely the people you surround yourself with positive people, and keep that positivity in terms of power of words and the mindset that you're having with the choice of words that you're using, because that's very important to keep your mindset on the positive momentum that you have right now.
Thank you, Kim, for these insights. Jumping back to the next question, how do you take adversity in a positive way when facing difficulties at work?
Mm.
It's
I know
great.
what you mean, very in terms of things. So I'm not sure if by adversity you mean, for example, I mean, it might be difficult situations, but for example, maybe you have a conflict with people, at work. It might be a disagreement with your boss, or different ways of working, different views. And that's not something that's easy to do when you're working with the same person every time, and it starts impacting your mindset and starts impacting your mood. But you have to realize as well that it's more about what you have to offer in the working environment, right? It's more about your unique skills. Again, you're not going to be able to change your boss. You're not going to be able to change the people around you. But what I did in the past that worked with me really well, and what I usually recommend, is understanding that your way of seeing things is your reality. It's your way of seeing things. If I believe in religion, if I believe in anything, that's my reality. If someone else doesn't, there is no right or wrong. That's my reality that is right and that he's wrong or she's wrong. That's not a reality. It's the same at work. It's more about understanding that you have your own point of view of seeing things, and other people have the same. What usually helped me a lot in the past is more understanding um, where the other person is coming from, really understanding and listening before trying to say something, making the other people feel heard, and making understanding why they're thinking the way they're thinking and what's making them think that way is very important, because this is where you might be able to reach a compromise. And it might help in terms of, in your situation, for example, limiting your challenging situation or adversity to be a bit more lenient in that sense.
Thank you, Kim, for these insights. So, coming back to the next question. So, we have Alina. She's asking Ahmed, what situation changed your mind? Oh my God, I will come back to last like 1 year back. I would say what situation came into my mind and changed my life seriously. I said to myself the first time that it's enough the getting by life, enough living a life that it was not meant to me, and I didn't design anything on it. And by changing this negative talk into positive talk, your mindset will change automatically from negative into positive. So I started to take actions. I started to move into the right actions. And one thing and one person who really changed my life is my wife. And my wife is Alina Vorobaeva. This is who is asking right now.
I love that.
Thank
That's great. It's nice to meet you as well, Alina. I've heard a lot about you, so even if I'm only seeing a picture, it's still very nice to meet you.
Thank you, Alina, for the question. So we'll jump back into the next question. So we have here Nidal, a question from Nidal. Kim, great leads. From your experience, do you find your clients are aware that adversity doesn't last and they can always take advantage of this situation to grow?
I think that's a great question, and that's tricky because when people face an adverse situation, and maybe if it's one of the first challenging moments, it's very difficult, especially with clients that I work with that are, in the job searching phase. Either you're employed or unemployed is not the point, but it's something that requires a lot of patience, a lot of hard work, a lot of self-confidence in terms of making sure that no matter what comes, you are still on your way going there, because there are lots of things that are going to come and distractions that are going to come along the way that's going to help, like, get you to divert from the road. But your focus is not to take the left or the right, is to stay focused on moving forward. That's, I think, is very tricky. And that's why also I think having a coach or whatever it is, like a support, a mentor, a person you talk to, is important, because when you have these time of doubts, and when you have these time, because we're all human at the end of the day, it's important that we have this person behind us that is believing in us as much as we believe in ourselves, to keep us going and to push you when you need someone to push you. That's so important.
Amazing, Kim. Thank you so much for these lovely insights. Coming back to the next. So Adel El Bouti is saying, hello everyone. I think adversity is not a fatality. It's a part of life, for sure. We should just be prepared, equipped to manage it. And I believe that apart from preparation is to seek help from right people. Exactly. Who can inspire you and increase your confidence. It's a big part on that, for sure. Thank you, Adel, for these amazing insights. We'll jump back into our friend Valeria. She's asking, why do you think we have toxic beliefs, Kim Araman? So
I love that question. That's not an easy question, but I really love that question, because the point is, it's how we're brought up. If we think about where do beliefs come from, most of the time, I would say 8 times out of 10, from our childhood or not our adulthood, from before, in terms of things. It's something that we're not born with. It's something that you acquire. You decide to believe, I'm not good enough. This is a limiting belief, for example. Or I'm never going to make it. Or I don't have the right skill to be able to change careers. Whatever it is that you have, you're the person that throughout your life, through your experience, through your values, through your beliefs and your behaviors, you set these toxic limiting beliefs in your mind. That's how limiting beliefs happen. And the first step is being aware of these limiting beliefs. That's the most important step. Everyone has limiting beliefs. Today, I have limiting beliefs. I fixed some, but it's normal that life gives us more limiting beliefs. Imagine if there was no challenge in life, then there is no life. It's not fun anymore. So it's more about being aware of these limiting beliefs and figuring out a way to remove these limiting beliefs, to let go of these limiting beliefs. This is so important, and this is the challenging part. It's not the part of accepting that you have a limiting belief. It's the fact that you have to ask yourself the questions that are going to make you the most uncomfortable to understand where is this belief coming from. Because your mind will store it into the deepest, darkest room there is in your mind out there so that you don't open it. And it's trying to protect you. But if you keep that and you keep the room closed, you're going to keep that limiting belief and it's not going to go away. It's going to keep coming back in your life in one way or another. Whether you move career, whether you move your job, anything at all, it will come back. And I think that's the most important thing.
Exactly, Kim. Adding to your point, I love what you say, that being aware about toxic beliefs or toxicity, because most people, they live with toxicity without knowing that it's toxic, because they didn't ask themselves the right questions, the right things. They don't allow themselves to ask others about it, because they live, as you said, that we are born with this is our beliefs, and we are not expanding our beliefs out of this comfort zone that we have, out of our these borders of thoughts that we have. So toxic beliefs, I can guarantee you that many people, that they don't know that they have this toxicity is going around. So asking the right questions and asking the right people and giving yourself a time to think rightly, this is will allow you to get out of these toxic beliefs out of your life. Thank you, Kim. The second question, and I think it will be the last because time is flying as usual now. So we have the last question, and we'll jump. So we have Zakaria. He's asking, can you give us any real life examples of how to apply these tactics, please?
I'm not sure what topic you're talking about when you're saying real life examples. Are you talking about limiting beliefs? Or are you talking about adversity?
I would assume, Zakaria, and if you have the same question, you can ask Kim after this episode. But we'll assume that it's getting out of adversity.
Okay, so getting out of adversity, it's more about understanding what do you have in power in your hands. What can you control? What can you control? You can only control who you are and the way you think, the way you behave, the way you act, the way you let this affect you. This is what you have in your power to control things. For us to get out of a negative cycle and to break it, if I'm gonna say and wait, and and even if you're a believer, keep praying, or if you believe in the universe, whatever you believe in, and and keep hoping that something happens, guess what's gonna happen? Nothing is gonna happen if we don't do something about it. I can keep reading affirmations and positive affirmations every day for 20 years. Maybe it's gonna make me feel better some days, but it's not enough because it doesn't make me go somewhere. It's more about understanding that I can control the way I think, and having a positive mindset is key. And more importantly, I can choose to identify what I want in my life and what I don't want. So surrounding yourself with positive people, trying to eliminate any toxicity from your life. Of course, you're going to tell me, for example, if it's at work, I cannot decide that I can remove toxic people at work, but I can maybe limit my interactions with them. If it's such a toxic environment and you're not happy with it, then maybe it's time to look for another role. Because if it's not making you happy and it's impacting other areas of your life, then maybe it's not the thing that works for you. Maybe there's a cultural change or a management change, and then maybe it doesn't work out for you anymore. But it's more about taking a step back, understanding what's working for you and what's not. Identifying what are these things that are not working, and making a plan to remove these things from your life, one after the other. So you're able to gain back positivity and to gain back happiness and to feel like, not to feel like you're having challenging situations every time. And keep in mind, adversity is not going to go anywhere. You can limit adversity, but you cannot remove adversity completely, because then there's nothing that we're going to enjoy in life. It's just, if it's just, you know, a fun ride under the ride, and there is no rocks or anything coming at us. At some point, it's going to become boring. But it's more about embracing the adversity, knowing that you can go through it, believing that you can go through it, and making a plan so you can, you know, counteract it and go through it.
Thank you, Kim. And I think Zachariah, he confirmed that it's getting out in adversity in the comment itself. So thank you so much. Again, I would like to, we came into the end. I know that time is flying as usual in our episodes. So I would like to thank you for your valuable time and the amazing insights to our audience today. And secondly, also, I would like to thank all the audience that we have them today. And one thing that I would request our audience today, whoever listened to us, please, 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 if you need anything related to your career development, the career coaching, interviewing tips, anything, you can come back to Kim at any time, and she will help you 1000%, not even 100%. So don't hesitate for 1 second to come and ask her. Again, thank you to Kim for your valuable time, and I hope that we will come back again for another episode. Thank you so much.
100%. Thank you, Ahmed. It was a pleasure being with you and all of the people that were with us today.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys. Bye bye.